What up, reader fam? Today I'm bringing you my book Expo haul. If you don't know what Book Expo is, it's a massive book conference where you get the opportunity to receive books early, meet authors, meet other bookish people, and meet with publishers. Oh, and also you get the chance to tune into panels, except I did not get the chance to do that this year, unfortunately. I was really good this year about picking up books that I knew I was going to read. I've gone to this conference the last 4 years, and each year I've learned a new lesson. The biggest lesson I've learned, though, is that I should only be picking up the books that I know I'm going to read. It was so easy in the past just to pick up every book that was handed to me, but then I would get home and realize that I had picked up books that I was not interested in. So this year, I got it down. I genuinely only picked up books that I knew I was excited for and knew that I would pick up and read. So I picked up 6 books this year, along with a sampler and lots of swag. Like, too much swag. So let's get into the haul. The first book that I have to show you today is FAWKES by Nadine. This book comes out on July 10th, 2018. This is a historical fiction fantasy story. It takes place in the 17th century in London, and we follow this boy named Thomas Fawkes. One day, Thomas Fawkes realizes that he is turning into stone. Soon enough, he'll be nothing but a stone statue. This is something that Thomas Fawkes never imagined for his life. In fact, it kind of terrifies him a little bit. Why the heck is he turning to stone? I don't think anyone would see that as an ideal future. Count me out. He'd rather be out there living his life, but instead he's turning into a stone statue. So this whole stone transformation ordeal is a part of something so much bigger. In fact, it's a part of a plague called the Stone Plague. In this sort of fictionalized version of London, there are 2 different groups. We have the Igniters and we have the Keepers. And both sides are claiming that the other side is responsible for this plague. Thomas is a part of the Keepers, and his father comes up with this plan to take out the king of the Igniters, in hopes that doing so will put a stop to this plague. But once Thomas finds himself wrapped up in this plan, and they get closer to the execution of it, he realizes something. In fact, we get a bit of a plot twist, but following through with this big plan of executing the king will end up destroying the family of the girl that Thomas loves. Why does love always gotta get in the way? The boy just doesn't want to turn into stone, that's all he wants. Anyway, he must come to the decision of carrying on with the plan and going with his people, or ultimately betraying his people. It sounds awesome, sounds incredible. I love myself some historical fiction. I haven't read too many books with historical fiction that brings in a fantasy element. I've only read a few. I've read like The Infernal Devices and Jacoby, so I'm looking forward to reading this one and seeing how everything goes down. Next up, I have here City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, one of my all-time favorite authors, as if I needed to say that. In case you didn't know, Victoria Schwab is one of my faves. Sometimes I feel like a broken record in these videos. This book comes out on August 28, 2018, and this is a middle grade paranormal fantasy. We follow our main character Cassidy Blake, who one day almost dies drowning, and ever since this near-death experience, she's been able to pull back the veil that separates the living from the dead and enter the world of spirits. Apparently this motion means spirits. I'm weirdly getting Major Vicious vibes from this book, which is another book by Victoria Schwab under her other name V.E. Schwab. Mostly just the fact that our main character gets an ability after a near-death experience. I'm a-okay with that though. I just had to point out the similarities there. Like, is there gonna be a little Vicious crossover in here? I'd be okay with that. I definitely don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be pretty awesome. So Cassidy's parents end up booking this reality television show where they go and visit the world's most haunting places. And first up is Scotland. When she begins her life in this new place, she quickly learns that the City of Ghosts is a dangerous place to be. I feel like that's not a lesson that you learn going to a place called City of Ghosts. I feel like that's something that you just know when you hear the name City of Ghosts, that that place is gonna be dangerous. You don't want to be there. You don't want to get stuck there. The ghosts are gonna mess with you. Anyways, this book sounds so good. I love Victoria Schwab's writing. I am a fanboy, hardcore fanboy, and this is definitely on the top of my Book Expo TBR list. I'm gonna get to this one as soon as possible, and it's gonna be a ghost-tastic time. Ha! 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 I'm the worst. Next up here, I have an arc that I've already read. I feel pretty proud of myself that I've already read this one. I will say it is a graphic novel, so it was super easy to read. It's not like it was one that was gonna take me a week to finish or something. I plowed through this one in 45 minutes, and that is Home After Dark by David Small. I will share my thoughts on this one in a Books I've Read Recently video coming up soon. Even though this is a graphic novel, I am still really proud of myself for having already read this arc, because normally I'm a big fail at reading arcs. I'm a work in progress progress, my friends, okay? Anyways, this story follows this boy who just faces struggle after struggle. He boards the struggle bus and just rides it through struggle town. His mom leaves him at a very early age, his dad neglects him, he's bullied at school, and he just kind of finds himself feeling worthless and without purpose. We ultimately just follow him figuring out his life as he faces all this adversity. It's a really dark book, but it opens up a lot of really interesting conversations. This graphic novel comes out on September 11th, 2018. Next up, I got a sampler that I'm super excited about. I'm normally not this excited about samplers, but this one is the exception, and that is A Map of Days by Ransom Riggs. This is a sampler of the 4th novel in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series, which is one of my all-time favorite series. It was supposed to just be a trilogy. We all thought it was over with the 3rd book, Library of Souls. And y'all, I had just come to terms with it being done with. I had accepted the fate of this trilogy coming to a close. And then what does homeboy Ransom do? What does he do? He's just like, psych! I'm obviously more than okay with the revival of this series because now I can continue to obsess over this series. Now this news is actually pretty old and you might be wondering why I haven't really talked about it yet, and that's because I'm not gonna stop talking about it when it comes out, so I'm just kind of giving you guys a break right now. Like, I'm giving you guys this summer break, but when this book comes out on October 2nd, I'm not gonna shut up about it, so prepare yourselves. I'm gonna be a nightmare dressed like a daydream. So anyways, this is just a sampler of the 4th book. I'm gonna hold off from reading this sampler, and you might be wondering, why the heck would you hold off from reading a sampler? You have like the first chapter. The reason I'm doing that is because if I read this first chapter, it's gonna consume me, and it's gonna be the only thing that I think about, and I can't do that. I can't do that to all these other books that I still need to read. I need to allow myself to read some books that I haven't read yet, and then when this book comes out, I will let it consume my life. I will let it take me over. The only reason that I was able to see Ransom and have this signed is because a super kind human gave me tickets for his signing line. God bless the nice bookish humans, okay? There are some good people out there. I have to be real with you guys, I always am, but the Goodreads description for this book makes it sound so mediocre, and I know it's not going to be. I know it's not going to be boring, but the Goodreads description makes it sound so stupid. I want somebody to update it. It's basically just like the peculiars are in the real world trying to blend in. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Like, tell me something chaotic's gonna happen, please. I know the trilogy finale was chaotic, and sure, my peculiar bays do need a day at the beach, but I'ma need some crazy things to happen up in here, okay? They also had this super cool Map of Days photo booth at BookCon, which I was super stoked about. I've been thinking this for years that they needed to have a photo booth that was peculiar themed. Like, it's such a great opportunity to help promote this book, and it's just like the perfect scenario for a photo booth. I really need to bring down my fanboy levels a little bit, but I just can't help myself. The excitement is real up in here, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of just as excited for this next book, and that is Bridge of Clay by Markus Zusak, which comes out on October 9th. I had no idea that there was going to be arcs for this book at Book Expo. I was just walking the expo hall one morning, and I saw this line forming at the Penguin booth, and I was like, what's this for? They're like, Bridge of Clay, and I was like, speak no more, I'ma get in this line. I adored The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I do consider it one of my all-time favorite books, so I kind of flailed a little bit when I saw this book was being handed out. And it's such a beautiful arc. This is not what the finished copy is going to look like. The finished copy is going to have this on the cover, I believe. But I'm definitely excited to have this as a part of my collection now. Now, while I am super excited for this book and I can't wait to dive in, the description for this book is vaguer than vague. I'm a little confused as to what it's even really about, but I'm gonna try my best to explain what I know. We have these 5 boys who are brothers and their father disappeared. The boys are just barely making it by and doing their best to try and survive in this adult world. One day they finally learn the truth behind their father's disappearance, and this is when the middle child Clay must build a bridge in order to hold his family together. I feel like I pretty much just pulled that description out of my rear end, so my description might be misleading, but so is the description on the back of this book. It gave me nothing to go off of, but that's what I got out of it, so hopefully that's what this book is about. If not, I'm sorry, I failed you. Next up, I have A Very Large Expanse of Sea by Tahereh, Mafi, and this book comes out on October 18th, 2018. This is not the final cover of the book. Hopefully we'll get a cover here pretty soon. This cover just kind of has some blurbs from different authors. We have Marie Lu, Saba Tahir, and Nicola Yoon. Now, I waited 2 hours in line for this book. Like, talk about dedication. I did have like 1 bathroom break in between there, but this is one of the books that I went to Book Expo to get. It was on the top of my list, and I'm super happy that I was able to get my hands on this one. This is Tahereh's first contemporary contemporary story, and she's openly talked about this book online and how it's her most personal book to date. It takes place in 2002, a year after 9/11, and we follow our main character Shirin, who now lives in a world full of people who give her dirty stares, who make disgusting comments at her when she's minding her own business. All of this the result of her race, religion, and the hijab that she wears. Through all of this, Shirin becomes incredibly closed off. She's not willing to let anyone into her life anymore because she's afraid that she'll just end up hurt. The only place she finds peace is through music, breakdancing with her brothers, and this boy she meets named Ocean. Ocean is somebody who is trying to work his way through this wall that Shirin has built up. And while she does want to allow him in, she also fears that he is coming from a completely different world from her, and that they'll inevitably end up in a bad place. We've seen Tahereh take on dystopian and fantasy, and we're now going to get a taste of what she can do with the contemporary genre. I couldn't be more thrilled to see what she's going to showcase within this book. The last book that I picked up at Book Expo is The Last Life of Prince ALASTOR by Alexandra Bracken. This is actually the sequel to the first book, The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding, which I read last year and really enjoyed, so I couldn't be more excited to have the sequel in my hand. And the sequel doesn't actually come out till February 5th of 2019, which feels like forever away. The story follows a boy named Prosper Redding who ends up having a demon living inside of him. Casual. His great super great grandfather made and broke a deal with a demon, and so Prosper is having to deal with the consequences of that deal being broken, which really sucks. And I'm pretty sure that this is a duology, so this is the finale. I could be terribly wrong there, but I feel like I remember seeing that this is only a duology. Oh no, I must prep myself for the finale here. So those are all the books that I picked up at Book Expo, but like I said, I got lots of swag, so I'm gonna share some of that swag with you guys. So first up is one that I'm kind of sad about, I'm not gonna lie, and that's this Harry Potter poster that I stood in line for. Brian Selznick did new covers for the Harry Potter series, which when are they gonna stop doing new covers for the Harry Potter series? I mean, I'm not mad about it because they've all been beautiful, but it's just that I need them all when they come out. I have too many copies of the Harry Potter series already. Anyways, Brian Selznick was there and he signed these posters of all the covers lined up together, so I'll show it to you. But the reason I'm sad is because my poster got super hecka bent up while traveling home, which I knew was going to happen. There was no way that I could keep this poster in nice condition. So now it's all bent up. I'm hoping that I can just like place a bunch of books on it and flatten it out, but I don't know. It's pretty bent up. But this is the glorious poster. It's so beautiful. As you can see, it's got all the covers lined up nicely together, and I just love the details of these new covers, which is why I have to have them. But I also don't need another set of Harry Potter books. Soon enough, I'm just gonna have a full bookshelf of Harry Potter books. I'm so sad about how crinkled up this poster got. So along with the poster, they gave out these tote bags that have a Brian Selznick sketch on them, and on the back it says, Harry Potter 20 Years of Magic. Then my friend Jeremy gave me this Harry Potter 20 Years of Magic pin, which I love. Next up, I got this print of The Lightning Thief, which I didn't know, but they're doing illustrated editions of the Percy Jackson series, which I am here for. I'm so excited about that. I'm a little sad about this print too because it's a little crinkly as well, but it came out a lot better than the Harry Potter one did. I feel like this next bit of swag is super random, but I got some Darkest Minds chocolate. Yay for random swag. I also cannot wait to devour this chocolate. Also, it's appropriately dark chocolate because like the Darkest Minds, dark chocolate, it just makes sense. Spot on branding. So that's all the Book Expo stuff I got, but I did want to briefly mention some of the things that you guys gave me while at BookCon. I never expect you guys to give me anything. Just getting a conversation and a hug with you is more than enough for me, but it's always super nice, and I definitely wanted to mention the stuff that you guys gave me. So first up, the Instagram account XTMayasBay got me this super cool journal. I'm super excited about it. It's got all these super nice little challenges and stuff in there for creativity and stuff, so I'm super excited about this. Thank you so much, Jillian. Then Victoria gave me this awesome daily desktop of great quotes, which I love this so much. Like, it's just a little notepad, and on the bottom of it, it has little quotes. I'll read this one. Decisions are easy when values are clear. I love things like this. Little inspirational, motivational quotes are things that I am here for. So thank you so much, Victoria. Also, thank you for the lovely note. Then Christina from the Instagram account Proud Book Lion made me this awesome sketch of me. Then I got this awesome bookmark from Sasha. Thank you so much. Then I also wanted to just briefly mention these letters that I got. I haven't read them yet because I am somebody that when I read letters from you guys, I just cry. I cry. I'm emotional, okay? So I'm saving these for when I feel like it's an okay time to cry, which I don't know when that will be, but I will read them soon. But thank you guys so much for these letters. I'm excited to read them. So that's it for my book expo and BookCon haul. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I recognize that it's a privilege to go to these events, and I do not take that for granted. I'm seriously so grateful for the opportunity to go and meet all these authors, meet with publishers, and to receive these books. I know that sometimes the conference can look unappealing because you're on your feet all day, you're in long lines, but the conference has become so much more for me. The best thing about Book Expo and BookCon is getting the chance to meet other readers and to be able to connect with them because of our love of books. You guys should let me know down below in the comments which one of these books you think sounds the coolest, and also let me know down below which one you think I should read first. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos frequently on this channel, so if you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe, or go and click the little bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thanks for watching guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew.